Hello, YouTube!
Hi, YouTube!
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes, we do.
We're going to Houston.
The problem
That's the problem.
That's the problem, because it's really, really hot.
Yeah, there's a space center up there. We need our space.
Yes, have to have our space. Everywhere we go, I like to go somewhere space-oriented. Follow us if you want to see a little bit of the Johnson Space Center. We'll see you in a little while. Parking it's $10, but it's available only online, either the night before, or you can do it like we did and we bought it in the parking lot.
They've taken out the employees at the gates, so just continue on straight through and then get online and pay for it.
It's best to buy the tickets prior to your visit. You can do it the day of, but it's not recommended because you might miss out on some activities that are limited by the amount of people that they can accommodate. I have never seen so many different NASA shirts. I'm feeling better.
There's a plethora of urinals in here. There's a line of people waiting to at NASA. So they got all this stuff from Mars Mystique. They're talking about the old shows and that kind of stuff.
Right.
The new ones. But why is it always Mars?
Because it's the next planet next to us.
Did somebody say, oh, it's, you know what I mean, Mars, if another being comes from Saturn, would they be Martians?
No, they'd be Saturnites.
No one. So the next giant leap for humanity
is Mars. Yeah. So according to what they've stated here, we have already been to Mars via NASA for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And we are going to try to get back to Mars.
Is this the picture of the people that are there now?
That's right. They're already there, yeah.
Gotcha.
The rocks formed on Mars and were blasted away from the planet by impact of a large meteor or asteroid. After traveling millions of years through space, they land on Earth. This touchstone is one of only a few Mars meteorites in the world available to be touched by the public.
So you can reach up in here.
Awesome.
Which is disgusting.
I don't care. I'm touching something from Mars. That's so awesome.
Prove it.
It's a visitor's map of Mars. So, and it shows you that the Viking 2 lander landed over in this area around Utopia Planitia. And Curiosity rover landed near the Gale crater. Spirit rover, let's see here. The Curiosity rover was right there. This is just a nice little light up map.
You know my question.
This right here, they've got a space here. These keys show where they could possibly have crude people. C-R-E-W-E-D.
Yeah.
Not obnoxious people like me.
That's right. And up there it compares the Grand Canyon to Valles Marineris. I think I said that right.
Okay.
Yeah. So something
Minor
about
the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah, look at that. Look how deep that is. Do you see the comparison? It says up to 120 miles wide, 4 miles
Grand
deep.
Canyon is 18 miles wide?
Yeah, I know something like 1 mile
I think
deep.
they're measuring from end to end.
Woo!
Gravity on Mars is 1/3
One-third gravity, so it's lighter.
Yeah.
This is what would be on Mars.
These are both on Earth,
Yeah.
just to let you know.
Yeah, this right here
Spoiler.
would be heavier. They're giving.
It's cold there right now.
It's very cold there.
Avalanches occur in the Martian North
Look at
Pole.
that, maximum wind speed
that be like at a third the gravity? Would it be like almost slow motion, or is it just fall the same rate? It just doesn't weigh the same.
We would have to do further research, further than what we could do inside the Johnson Space Center right now.
Right. Look, there's a couple astronauts right there.
Oh, I see them. This is, the Martian atmosphere is thin, and the Earth's atmosphere is 100 times more dense.
It's a whole lot of difference.
That's crazy.
The size too.
Yeah.
The seasons are about the same. Gravity. There's the two small moons, Phobos and Deimos. That's a small thing. Interesting, the moons fit Houston here.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is. I didn't realize they're so small.
Year, one orbit of the sun takes longer. How in the world does that work?
A year on Mars is 687 Earth days.
The same distance. All right, I got it. Interesting.
A Martian day is 37 minutes longer than an Earth day.
Sure. This looks like Sedona, not Mars.
It does, doesn't it? So tomorrow begins today, and this is the timeline from our journey to Mars. It goes over the present to the mid-2020s, talking about the International Space Station experiments and the working lab that they have on the space station that is pertinent to Mars research. And then we have the 2020s to 2030s, which is crewed missions beyond Earth orbit, that they want to put an outpost in the moon's orbit as well. And then they have the 2030s and beyond, which is a robotic exploration of Mars. So
go ahead.
This is an actual RS-25 liquid fuel rocket engine. NASA used the RS-25 for 30 years to boost the space shuttle into orbit. NASA selected this powerful and reliable engine to power the Space Launch System, or SLS, on future missions. On shuttle launches, the engines were carefully throttled because they were refurbished and reused after each mission. The RS-25 engines on the SLS are expendable, so they operate at full throttle, generating more power. When the SLS launches, its 4 RS-25 engines fire nonstop for 8.5 minutes. These proven engines, plus 2 solid rocket boosters, make the SLS the most powerful rocket in the world. And it produces 512,000 pounds of thrust. That's equivalent to more than 12 million horsepower, enough to push 10 giant aircraft carriers around the ocean at nearly 25 miles per hour. Earth from above, the cupola not only provides spectacular views of Earth and celestial objects, but is also used to observe operations outside the station, such as robotic activities, approaching vehicles, and spacewalks. It has 6 wide windows and a top window, all of which are equipped with shutters to protect them from possible contamination, orbital debris, and micrometeorites. Here's some aluminum on the International Space Station shield. It's 0.6 of an inch aluminum pellet going at 15,600 miles an hour. This was another test. It included similar fabric that was similar to a bulletproof vest, it says. So there's that. Wow. Look at that ginormous hole. It's plastic on an aluminum. It was a 4-inch aluminum block that it was tested on. The missile was 1 inch, 1/2 ounce plastic cylinder going at 15,200 miles an hour. Wow. So here they're testing out different layers of protection, honeycomb versus foam. Here's the space shuttle window. The missile that was used was a 0.2-inch aluminum pellet going at 15,250 miles an hour to 16,000 miles an hour. That is a suit worn by Catherine Sullivan. She was the first American woman to walk in space. This is a flight suit worn by astronaut Judy Resnick. She was training on NASA's T-38 aircraft. It says it was the last garment she wore before the Challenger accident in 1986. Russian compression suit is what this one is.
How big is the dude who wears that?
It says when astronauts spend a long time without gravity, their height can increase up to 3 inches.
Oh, that kind of crap.
Yeah, spinal stretching can be painful and poses a problem if an astronaut can't fit into his or her spacesuit or molded seat in the Soyuz spacecraft. Wow.
I really wish they could go back to these. I like these.
I do too.
Rockets.
It's a model of the space
I feel like we've
shuttle
taken a giant
Discovery.
step backwards, you know?
Right. Space Shuttle Discovery first launched in 1984 and flew a total of 38 missions, traveling over 138 million miles and taking 252 crew members to space. Discovery flew to the International Space Station 13 times. Wow. Discovery's deliveries to the station included 3 segments of the space station's structure, the Harmony connecting module, the Japanese Kibo laboratory, and the permanent Leonardo module. Discovery is on public display at the Smithsonian Institution's National Air and Space Museum, Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center in Virginia.
Example of the solar panels on the space station. They've got to be more powerful than the ones you can get on the RV because it's shaded 16 times every day. If you look out there, you can see which ones they are. It has enough power to run the space station and charge the batteries for those 16 times that the sun is not out. And then they also use that for cooling, so they'll pass ammonia through the tubes and that sort of thing. That's how they get their climate control. So maybe RVs, maybe that's the next step for RVs is they need to do their cooling through ammonia tubes and that sort of thing, especially if you're driving down the road.
All systems go. Crew, prepare for launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome aboard your imaginary visit to the International Space Station, or ISS for short. Any of the discomforts of microgravity, which makes you feel weightless, but also nauseous. As we travel 250 miles above the Earth's surface, we conduct experiments that can only be done in reduced gravities. That's right, folks, the International Space Station celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. Now, just because I'm curious, what do y'all like to eat for lunch? Shout out some answers, don't be shy.
Pizza!
Pizza, great. I like the enthusiasm. What else? Food looks a little different than it does on Earth. Let me show you. Cool, perfect. This is coconut curry chicken. That actually gives me a good opportunity to show you how space toilets work. You're gonna grab a little plastic bag and strap it down to what the astronauts call the can. Then you're gonna squat down, hold onto the rails, and start doing your business. And if you want to know what we do with the liquid waste, well, you're in the right place. So that means the water that you used to make your coffee this morning is the same water that you used to make your coffee last week. Astronauts astronauts need to exercise for an average of 2 hours a day, every single day. Anyway, you sit down, you put your feet on the pedals, and you start pedaling. That we've needed to add 3 new permanent residents on board the station. That's right, I said permanent. Their names are Honey, Bumble, and Queen. They're the new Astronomy robots. Ah, great, this is Bumble. Everybody say hi. We have finally reached the end of a long day, and astronauts are scheduled for 8.5 hours of sleep every single night. But that also means, if it is secured down, that you can even sleep on the ceiling if you want, because you won't fall down. And subsequently climb or float on in. And zip yourself right back up. And with the research we're doing on board, we are pushing into the next 25 years of human spaceflight, onto our Gateway space station around the moon and lunar base camps as part of the Artemis program, and then onto Mars and beyond. And have an out-of-this-world day here at Space Center Houston. Thank you.
I love this picture right here.
Why is Tom Hanks' name not on there?
I don't know. That's just wrong.
Look at me. Look at me.
Okay.
I'm the captain now.
Oh my gosh. This is when Apollo 11 stepped out onto the moon in 1969.
Fuel cell module. It's like hydrogen fuel cell.
This is so cool. Yeah. Do what, Junie?
This isn't really real.
I think it is.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here. This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main beam undervolt. Roger, main beam undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, I would be highly disappointed if I was in there and I had an emergency and somebody came out and pushed on that sticker and it didn't do anything. I'd be disappointed.
What's your question?
Who poops in a shuttle?
I know, right? No, I have not.
I've seen this.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that air feels
Patterson Air
great.
Force Base. I've seen this thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I seen it fly over. It actually flew over our house. And
Wow.
we rushed out and saw it land it right back.
That is awesome.
This actual setup, if it's... picture that my dad took of going on in the backyard.
Really?
Yeah. And he sprained his ankle doing it.
Oh my gosh.
He's like so excited, it's coming, and then portable.
That's amazing. So it would
They
would fly
if
it
they're
ahead of
gonna
time?
if they need to move this thing off to
Somewhere?
California, then they fly all this up, set it up, get it ready to go in California, and they use it, and that's that.
On a camping trip with your friends, which role would you prefer? Plan, navigate, tell stories, or build, use tools, and hunt?
Oh,
But what if you could only do one?
so what do you think about, what is this plane? 747? What do you think about that?
We need one. We could use
Yeah, I
this
mean,
as
we
our
could
RV.
we could drive it around, just take
Yeah.
the wings off. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
It might cost a
Well, the
little
wings
bit
would
to get
be.
new tires every few years. But
Yeah.
we'd have all the room in the world.
We would.
Do you think that we'd fit where we're at now?
And with a little maneuvering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think? Obviously we're not there anymore. What did you think
No.
of the Houston Space Center?
It was hot.
It was very hot.
It was hot.
That was like a record. Every day was a record, but that
Yeah,
was
they're
another
still in record heat.
Yeah.
No, it was wonderful. I really loved it. It is a perfect companion with Kennedy Space Center over on the Space Coast of Florida.
Sure.
Yeah, so you need 2 days at least to go there. It was a lot of fun, a lot of information to absorb.
Yeah.
So
I know there's a place out west somewhere where they actually ignite the rockets. I'd like to go see that. I don't remember where it is exactly. If anybody watching knows exactly where that is, leave it in the comments. Love to see it. Yeah, I thought they had they got more displays, better displays than NASA in Florida.
yeah, they did. They had a lot. I don't know how to describe it except for that. So
A lot of cool new
yeah,
stuff.
Florida's
you know.
of course is wonderful. Kennedy Space Center is cool. They have several different smaller buildings. Johnson Space Center has just a huge building that, and at first you think that that's all there is to it, is this big open area with several offshoots, stores and things, but it keeps going. There's like little rabbit holes you go in, and there's other areas that you can explore.
Yeah.
So
I think you learn more about actual rocket launches in Kennedy Space Center, because you go see the launch complex and you learn actual things they're doing. And Johnson Space Center is more for training and stuff. And so if you pay for the other tours and stuff, you can see it. But
yeah,
that's,
you can pay additional tours to see the mission launch control, where they actually do it. You can also see where they train.
you can spend all kinds of money there.
Oh my gosh, yes you could. And not to say, Kennedy Space Center, you can still go see where they launch as well. You can go to.
Yeah, but that part of that at least is included in the price.
I believe it
I
is,
think
yeah.
I think just overall, I like Kennedy Space Center better than Johnson Space Center. That's my
Yeah.
2 cents.
And Iowa's on the other hand, as much as I love Florida and what it has to offer, I kind of like the Johnson Space Center.
Well, I
better.
really like what they did with the 60s actually living room suite in Kennedy Space Center and stuff, where they're set up. It's just a lot of history there. They put a lot of effort into reconstructing that history. So.
Yeah, it was cool. I
Yep.
highly recommend go and enjoy.
Yep. Thank you for watching this video, and we will see you again next week.